Okay. Hi, dear students of third prep. Welcome to our new lesson of School on Air. First, we are welcoming Mr. محمود and myself, Mrs. Rasha Abdallah. Today, we start lesson 2 in Unit 2. We will talk about lenses. But before this, we are going to ask 2 questions about the previous lesson. Okay, Mr. Muhammad?
Okay, Ms. Rasha.
Okay, and waiting for the phone calls?
Yes, phone
calls.
Okay, please,
we are waiting for your phone calls in these 2 questions. The first question, why convex mirror used as a side mirror of the car? This is the first question. The second question, how can you know the focal length by obtaining the radius of the mirror? Okay, again the 2 questions. Number 1, convex mirror used as a side mirror of the car, why? And the second question, how can you obtain the focal length by knowing the radius of the mirror? Okay, waiting for your phone call and with Mr. Muhammad for the introduction of the lesson, what's meant by lenses.
Okay. Welcome, dear students, in this episode. Let's go to start our lesson today, as we have to define firstly what is meant by lenses. Then we have to know the material that lenses are made of, يعني مصنوعة من إيه, and we have to know the types of lenses. Let's go to start our lesson with the definition of lenses. Okay, we have here Unit 2, Lesson 2. As we have to know lenses, as you see here, Unit 2, Lesson 2, lenses, زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا هنا. And we have to know what is meant by lenses. يعني ايه عدسات أو which means lenses here. Okay. It is a transparent medium, يعني حاجة شفافة that refract the light and is defined with 2 spherical faces. Okay? يبقى عندنا هنا هوت we have what? Okay. Transparent medium.
Okay.
That refracts light. يبقى عندنا transparent number 1 إن هي transparent يعني شفافة. Number 2 refracts light يعني بتكسر أو bend the light rays. And at the same time here we should know the lenses are defined with 2 spherical faces أو surfaces يعني ليها وجهين. Okay. Not only one face. Okay.
Okay. What are the lenses made from?
Okay. We have here another point in this lesson, as Ms. Rasha asked.
Mr. Muhammad,
okay.
Isn't it? A small break and we'll return back to our lesson. Okay. Welcome back. And now we'll start by the definition of lenses with Mr. Muhammad.
Okay, again we have, dear students, here to know what is meant by lenses. As we have, lenses are transparent medium, okay, يعني شفاف, that refracts the light, يعني بتكسر أو bend the light rays, not reflect the light rays. At the same time here, they have or defined by 2 spherical faces or 2 spherical surfaces. يعني any lens is apart from 2 spheres, not from 1 sphere, as we have or we studied before in the previous lesson in mirrors. Okay, يبقى احنا عرفنا definition بتاعتها. Okay.
Okay, so we can say that the definition
yes.
of the lenses
yes.
is a transparent medium
yes.
that refract light,
yes.
means change the direction of light when it passes through it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
and it may be plastic or
yes, plastic
made from plastic or made from
glass.
Glass.
Yes.
Okay. Can we talk about the uses of lenses?
Okay. As Ms. Rasha said before, we have material that lens is made of. We have here 2 main materials, as we have glass and plastic. So here we have on the monitor, we have the lenses are usually made of, number 1 glass, number 2 as you see plastic. Okay, so we have to know the uses of the lenses. We have many uses. We talk about the uses here. Number 1, as you see here, number 1 in medical eye glasses, النظارات الطبية. Number 2, use a magnifier to see the minute parts of the watch, مثلا الأجزاء الدقيقة بتاعت بتاع الساعات يعني. Number 3, as a microscope. Here we have another use. Number 4, here we have as telescope. So we have many uses of the lenses. Okay. So
Okay, I'll summarize the uses.
yes.
Okay, يبقى the uses of the lenses. Number 1, used as eyeglasses. Number 2, used in microscope and used in telescope and as a magnifying lens. Okay, these are the uses of the lens. Okay, what about their types? Are they all one type or different type of lenses?
Okay, so here we have the essence to know the types of the lenses, like the types of the spherical mirrors. We have two main types of the mirrors. We have plane and spherical mirrors. Here in the lenses we have two main types as convex and concave lenses. يعني we have no plane lenses. We have convex and concave. So here we have to start with number 1, as we have here convex lens. هنبتدي بالconvex lens. What is meant by or convex lens? As you see here, the first type is convex lens. زي ما احنا شايفين convex lens in front of you. We have here.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, can I ask question?
Yes, you can ask question.
Why they are called convex lens?
Convex lens. Why? Because these lenses are thin at the tips and thick at the middle. يعني هي بتبقى رفيعة من الأطراف وتخينة من المنتصف. يبقى هنا هقول له convex lens are thin at the tips يعني من الأطراف and at the same time they are thick here at the middle. يبقى هقول له thick at the middle يعني تخينة من المنتصف.
This is the shape of the convex lens.
Convex lens.
Okay, at the end they are thin and from the middle it is thick. This is by the shape. By seeing it from outside it looks like this. Okay?
Yes.
And now what about why it is called convex lens?
Convex lens because they are, or these lenses, converging the light ray. We have here to know the concept of the light ray in these lenses. As we know the shape here, they are thin at the tips, thick at the middle, and at the same time these lenses are called converging lenses. So here we have, as you see here, زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا, converging lenses. Give reason for. Why? Because they collect. يبقى they, we call here the convex lenses. They what? Collect the light rays after what?
Refraction. After
After.
refraction, the light passes through it and comes out refracted, collected in one point, and this is why it's called convex lens, because it collects the ray at one point, and this is called convex or converging the rays.
Okay, so here we know the lenses as the first type is convex lens, and these lenses are called or is called convex because they collect the light rays or converging the light ray after refraction, not reflection, because we talk about lenses here, not mirrors. So,
okay, this is the first type.
Yes.
We said the shape of it
Yes.
and why it is called convex lens. Now, what about the second type, the shape, and why it is called by this name?
Yes. So we have here concave lens. Concave lens. As you see here on the monitor, we have concave lens. These lenses are what? هنقول له بقى they are thick at the tips. العكس. Thick at the tips. يعني تخينة من الأطراف. And here is thin at what? The middle. يعني رفيعة من النص.
Okay, this is the shape.
The shape of the lenses.
Okay.
Yes.
Why it is called
Yes.
concave lens?
Yes. Diverging lens, as you see here, they called diverging, يعني مشتتة للlight. They separate the light rays after refraction. So here we have to answer this question because we have here give reason for. The concave lenses are called diverging lenses. أقول له هنا يبقى الأنسر بتاعتي because they separate light rays after refraction. يعني بتشتته بعد refraction. And here we have a little video that explain how can we know الفيديو اللي قدامنا the concave lenses diverging or separate the light ray after refraction. We have here as you see زي ما احنا شايفين قدامنا هنا اهوت concave as thin at the middle, thick at the tips. The light ray comes in this direction. They diverge يعني اتفرق in different directions away from the principal axis. So here we know why the concave lenses are called by this name, because they diverge يعني شتت the light rays after refraction. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, can I summarize what we have said right now? Okay, Mr. Muhammad said a comparison between the convex lens and the concave lens. First of all, by the shape, the convex lens is at the tip is thin and from the middle is thick, while the concave is thin from the middle and thick from the tips or its end. Why it is called convex? Because it collects the ray after refraction, while it is called concave because it separate or scattered the ray after refraction. This is about why it is called by this name and how the light passes through it formed. Okay, then now what we are going to explain right now.
Okay, we have to know the main concepts in the lenses as we have as we studied before. We have here concave and convex mirrors. We have principal axis, we have center of curvature, we have focus, and we have focal length. At the same time, in the spherical mirrors, we have pole of the mirrors. But here we have optical center, not pole of the lens. Lens has no pole, but has optical center. So let's go to start with the first definition here, as we have center of curvature here. We have
Mr. Muhammad, I think that's the main difference between them. That the mirror come from one spherical face, while the lenses come from two circular faces, and that make the two principal different from mirror and the lenses. This is one spherical surface, and the lenses is from two spherical circular faces.
Okay, so here we have number one as we talk about the center of curvature. So we have number one center of curvature as we have C1 and C2. So center of curvature is what? Is the center of what? Of the sphere. Center of what? Center of the sphere. That this lens is a part of, or we can say it is the center of the sphere that the face of the lens is a part of. So we have here two centers of curvature because we have two spherical faces, or any lens is a part from two spherical faces.
So again, Mr. Muhammad, the give reason why the lenses have two center of curvature. Why the lenses have two center of curvature? Okay. The answer is because they come from two circular spheres.
Yes.
Okay, I have two circular faces.
Yes.
Okay, next point.
Next point here we have to talk about the optical center. Optical center, we have no pole on the lenses, so we should know what is meant by optical center as you see here. Optical center اللي هو الميد بوينت هنا اللي هو by this highlighter هنا as P, optical center, and some books we can call them as O, optical center. Okay, so what is meant by optical center? It is the midpoint between the two faces of the lens. هو نقطة اللي في النص ما بين two faces of the lens. زي ما احنا شايفين هنا قدامنا any lens has two faces. لو جينا نعملهم كده اهوت we have هنا one face and we have another face on the other direction on the other side. So we have P is the midpoint between the two faces of the lens. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, can we set another definition of the optical center?
Yes.
We can set it is the midpoint between the two faces, or we can set that it is the midpoint inside the lens itself.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
We have two definitions for the optical center. Okay?
Yes.
Next point, Mr.
Next
Muhammad.
point is the principal axis. As we see here, we have to talk about the principal axis. Principal axis, as we talk about it, we studied before in the mirrors, especially the spherical mirrors, we have the straight line connects between center of curvature and the pole of the mirror. But here we have to know what is meant by the principal axis. As you see here, it is what? It is the straight line connects between the two centers of curvature. The two centers of curvature. At the same time, this straight line connects between the two centers of curvature and passes through what? Optical center. طبعا أكيد if this line passes, this straight line عشان يبقى كلامي more specific, this straight line can passes through the two centers of curvature, it can pass through what? Optical center at the same time. So here we have only one principal axis. We have what? One principal axis as we studied before in spherical mirrors. Because, definition.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, I'm going to say the definition again of the principal axis. It is the straight line joining between the two centers of curvature. Again, it is the straight line joining between the two centers of curvature and passing by the optical center. Okay, and we have only one principal axis. We have only one principal axis. Why we have only one principal axis? Mr. Muhammad is going to answer.
Okay.
Why?
Because we have here, as you see, dear students, we have only one straight line can passes through the two centers of curvature. مفيش خط تاني أو straight line
There's
تاني.
only one midpoint.
Yes, it can passes through the two centers of curvature and at the same time passes through the optical center. So here we have to review the radius of curvature in the spherical mirrors. What is meant by radius of curvature? On a radius of curvature, it is the radius of the sphere that this mirror is a part of, صح? But in the lenses, we can say this definition. Because as you see here, لما نبص هنا مع بعض, we have here, this is the first one, the sphere, the first sphere, okay? As you see هنا, ده عندنا sphere اهو, صح? And on the other side, we have another sphere like that. So, how can we say the radius of curvature? ازاي نعرف radius of curvature here? هقول له radius of curvature ما ينفعش اقول له radius of the sphere that this lens is a part of. Because we have from C to this point is a radius. يبقى عندنا we have another part outside the sphere. And from this side we have what? We have this radius. And we have another part outside the sphere to P. يبقى هنا لما يقول لي what is meant by radius of curvature هقول له radius of what? Radius of the sphere. هناك كنا في الميرورز بنقول له distance between center of curvature and any point on the mirror. صح؟ هنا مش هينفع اقول له كده. هقول له radius of the sphere تمام that this lens is a part what of اللي المرايه او اللي سوري العدسه لينز is a part of. يبقى احنا قلنا كده. طيب عندنا هنا السكندري اكسس بقى. In the spherical mirrors we call secondary axis it is a straight line connects between center of curvature and any point on the mirror except pole of the mirror. But here in the secondary axis لما اقول له يعني ايه secondary axis اقول له it is a straight line. Any straight line passes through what? The optical center only. Optical center only. In concave mirror and concave lens and in convex lens. يعني لو انا عملت كده how many straight lines اقدر اعملهم؟ طبعا we can make many straight lines as you see here, as you see like that, as you see like that. المهم ان هو this line this straight line will pass through the optical center only. So here secondary axis we have infinite number of secondary axis. Okay.
Okay, and this is a give reason, Mr. Muhammad. It's most common give reason in this point why we have one principal axis, only one, but we have many secondary axes in the lens. Okay?
Yes.
Again, the question give reason why we have only one principal axis in the lens, but we have many secondary axes in the lens.
Okay, so here we can compare between principal and the secondary axis, as we have here to know principal axis is only one straight line can pass us through the two centers of curvature. But the secondary axis in the lenses is what? Is any straight line can pass through the optical center only. So here we have infinite or uncountable number or unlimited number of secondary axes, but at the same time we have only one principal axis. So here we should know how can we differentiate between principal and the secondary axis. The next point, my dear students, is what? Is the focus of the lens. Like the focus in the spherical mirror. Focus is what? It is the point that the reflected rays in the mirrors, the reflected rays are intersect or collect. If the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis, we have only one condition here to know what is meant by focus. Focus يعني زي ما بنقول نقطة التجميع. As here we talk about the focus in the lenses. هنقول يعني ايه focus أو focus of the lens. Focus of the lens. هقول له برضو it is a what? It is a point. اهي point قدامنا زي ما احنا شايفينها. In which the refracted rays. In which what? The refracted rays are what? Are intersected in it. So if the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis, يعني أقول له it is a point that the refracted rays are intersect. We have one condition, if the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis.
Okay, this is the focus of the convex lens.
Yes.
Okay, it is the point of collection of the ray after refracted, but in one condition, the rays come parallel to each other. The incident ray come parallel to each other. But what about the focus of the concave lens? And we call it that it is scattered the rays after refract. So how it collect the rays in one point to say the focus point it is what in the concave lens.
Yes, concave lens. Yes, here we should differentiate carefully between the focus in convex lens
and concave.
And the concave lens, because convex lens collect the light rays converging, while concave lens is diverging. So we have here virtual focus, or because these light rays are what? Are refract away from the principal axis. So we have another definition. So to talk about it in the concave lenses. So here we have to determine the focal length. طبعا احنا عارفين focal length in the mirrors are what? أو is what? Is a distance between focus and pole of the mirror, or distance between focus and center of curvature. We have two focal lengths. And in the lenses we have two focal lengths. So here we have focal length, it is a distance, نشوفها مع بعض كده. It is a distance between center of curvature and focus, or distance between focus and optical center. On the other side, we have distance between optical center and focus, and we have another distance between focus and the center of curvature. So how many focal lengths here? We have four. We have how many? We have four. Each to one radius of curvature. كل اتنين منهم يقدروا يعملوا radius of curvature لوحدهم. So we should measure four equal distances. قبل ما نبتدي البروبلم بتاعتنا لازم هنعمل four equal distances as 0, 3, 6, 9 and 12 centimeters to determine C, F, P and FC on the other side. So we have to determine the definition or the difference between real image and virtual image.
Okay.
Okay.
To compare between real image and virtual image, real image, it is the image that can be received on a screen, while the virtual image, it is the image that cannot be received on a screen. Again, the real image, it is the image that received on a screen, while the virtual image, it is the image that cannot be received on the screen. Okay, so when he asks you about why the image is virtual, the answer is it cannot be received on a screen. Give reason why the image is real, because it can received on a screen. Okay.
Okay. As you
Next
see here,
point.
dear students, we have this compare between the two images, as we have real and virtual images. Number one, it can be received on the screen. So as we studied before in the spherical mirrors. And we have here the other image is called what? It's called virtual image. Cannot be received on the screen. يعني ما ينفعش نستقبله على سكرين أو شاشة أو حائل زي ما بيسموه باللغة العربية. يبقى هنا we can determine the difference between the two images as real image and virtual image. Okay. هنا we should know the path of the incident ray. خلي بالنا بقى. Number one, if the incident ray passes through the what? The optical center. If the light ray passes
Mr. Muhammad,
through...
I think we have three cases.
Three cases.
For the incident light, when it is parallel to the principal axis,
Yes.
case number one.
Yes.
When it is passing by the focus.
Yes.
And the third case, when it is passed by optical center. Okay,
Yes.
we are going to say how the incident ray act in these three cases, parallel to the principal axis and passing by focus and passing by optical center. Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Muhammad?
Number one, as you see here, dear students, the first case, the light ray will pass through the optical center of the lens. So here we have number one, if the light ray passes through the center, the optical center of the lens in this direction like that, the light will complete without refraction. The light will complete without refraction. يبقى هيكمل طريقه من غير refraction. يبقى هنا will
Pass straight line.
pass without refraction, يعني مش هيحصل له any change in its direction without refraction. Okay? And we have the second case. Number two, the incident ray parallel to the principal axis, as you see like that. Okay? So here we have this light ray parallel to the principal axis. In this case, the light ray will refract through the focus. In the mirrors, we say this light will reflect through the focus. Here we have the light refract through the focus. The third case here, the incident ray passes through the focus. As you see here, the incident ray passes through the focus. In this case, the light ray will refract parallel to the principal axis. هناك كنا بنقول له reflect parallel to the principal axis. So we can differentiate between mirrors, spherical mirrors especially, and the lenses by knowing the concept of reflection and refraction.
Okay, can I repeat
Okay.
it again? Okay, again, we have three rays of incident. Number one, passing parallel to the principal axis, so it will passes parallel to the principal axis. The refracted ray with R will passing by focus point. If the incident is passing by the focus point, so it will refract passing by parallel the principal axis. Number three, if it passes by the optical center, it passes without refraction. It passes without refraction. These are the three cases of the incident light ray that passes through the lens. In order to know it, how to draw the image in the cases, we are going to say it after this.
Okay, how can we deal with the different cases as or according to the position of the object in front of the lens? Especially we will start with convex lenses. In mirrors we have cases of concave mirrors, but here we will start with convex lenses. Both of them collect light rays, هناك after reflection, here after refraction. So we have the first problem. How can we answer this problem? زي ما احنا شايفين هنا قدامنا. So we have number one, we should bring ruler to determine four or to measure four equal distances. هنقيس 4 مسافات قد بعض. Okay? Then after this we have to draw the principal axis. Okay? يبقى we have how many? 4 equal distances. 4 مسافات قد بعض. As you see here like that. So we will draw what? The principal axis like that. Okay? Then don't forget to write or to draw here an imaginary line. خط وهمي هنعمله كده by ruler in the middle here like that. Okay? This line to determine the point of refraction. المنطقة اللي يحصل فيها refraction. So we have what? We have here C, F, P, F, and C. 4 equal distances. In this problem, object at distance greater than focal length, يعني أكبر من focal length, but less than double focal length. وأقل من double focal length. In this case هنعمله إزاي؟ يبقى أكتر، يبقى بعد السي، بعد الإف and before C. On any face we can draw right side or left side براحتنا. يبقى greater than focal length but less than double focal length. And this is the object like that. ده كده الايه object as an erect arrow. So we will apply the first case as light ray will come, or the incident ray parallel to the principal axis. In this case, the light will refract through the focus like that. Okay? And in the other side, أو بالطريقة الثانية, the light ray will pass through the focus as you see like that كده. In this case, the light will refract parallel to the principal axis as you see like that. At the point of intersection of the refracted light rays, we have to draw the what? The طبعا by ruler we will make extension كده عشان to draw the principal axis like that. Okay? Then we have here this point, we have what? The image. As the point of intersection, the image is here as you see. The image is what? زي ما احنا شايفين كده. Okay? Number one, we have image is inverted. Inverted يعني upside down يعني مقلوب. Number two is real. Why? Because it can be received on the screen and is formed due to what? Due to the intersection of refracted rays. Okay? Number three, this image is equal in size or diminished يعني مصغر or magnified مكبر. طبعا هنا هيبقى magnified. Magnified. And number four, we should write the position of the image as we have here. The position is what? أيوة. Is after. Yes. Okay, after center of curvature or more than double focal length. Okay.
Okay. Again, case number one, we are putting the object at a distance between F and the C, or distance less than the radius, or a distance more than double or more than the focal length. يبقى يقول more than the focal length يا less than the radius or less than double the focal length. To obtain the image, you have to draw two rays. The first one parallel to the principal axis, it will refract passing by focus point. The second, passing by focus point, it will refract parallel to the principal axis. The point of intersection of the refracted ray, this is the point in which you will go to draw the image. Okay? The image obtained is inverted, real, and
طبعا magnified. At the same time here is its position after center of curvature or more than double focal length. We have here another case. Here the distance or object at distance less than focal length يعني أقل من focal length. As you see here, object distance less than focal length يعني here between P and F. So we will apply with rule number one, the light ray parallel to the principal axis. In this case, the light ray will refract through focus as you see like that. And we have to apply the third case. ازاي؟ واحد يقول لي طب ما we can pass or make the light ray pass through the focus. Why? No, we can't. Why? Because the focus behind the object. The focus is behind the object. So we will deal or will apply rule number three or case number three. The light will passes through the optical center. In this case, the light will complete without refraction. Okay? So how can we draw the image? We have no intersection here between the refracted ray, this refracted ray, and the other refracted ray. So in this case, we will use the extension by ruler. By what? By ruler like that to draw an extension like that. and we have another extension like that. The two extensions will intersect in a point. In this point we will draw what? The image. So in this case the image is what? Number one, هقول له erect ولا inverted?
Upright.
Upright.
Another word.
Another word.
Upright.
So we can erect or upright, يعني معدول, upright or erect. Number two is what? Is virtual. What is meant by virtual?
And we said what's meant by virtual. It is the image that cannot be received on a screen.
Yes.
Okay. Can I tell the second description of the image?
Yes.
Okay. يبقى number one, it is erect or upright. They are the same meaning. It is real because it is received on a screen. It is magnified. You also can say enlarged or maximized. يبقى enlarged, maximized are the same meaning for the description of the object.
Okay. Magnified or enlarged here. And number four is what? Is behind the object. واحد يقول لي انت هتكتب behind the object ليه؟ اقول له because this image is virtual. We can determine its position by another object. يعني بحدده بأوبجكت تاني. مش هقول له behind what? Behind the object. يعني هو ورا الايه؟ الأوبجكت. As we studied before in mirrors we have behind the mirror. يعني ورا المراية. هنا هقول له طبعا ما فيش mirror، هقول له behind the object as you see in front of you.
And Mr. Muhammad, this is the only case we obtain virtual image by using the convex lens.
Yes.
All the other cases are real image. This is the only case to obtain the virtual image by using the convex lens.
Okay. We have here another case as the object at focus. The object at focus or at distance focal length. As you see here we have C, F، طبعا 4 equal distances، ما ننساش الأربعة قد بعض. P, F and what and C. Don't forget to draw the imaginary line، الخط الوهمي بتاعي هنا هو by ruler. By what? By ruler. The object at distance equal what? Equal focal length or at focus. We can deal or we can apply here rule number one as light ray parallel to the principal axis. In this case the light ray will refract through focus. So we have to act or deal with rule number three. Why? Because we stand actually on focus. So we will what? We will act with rule or case number three. In this case, if the light passes through the optical center, we have no refraction. So the two light rays here, the refracted light rays, never intersect. They are parallel. And if we try to make an extension to each light ray like that, in this case the light ray برضو the light ray didn't intersect، مش هيحصل لهم intersection. So we have here no image. No image يعني مفيش صورة. Why? Because no intersection. هكتبها اهو. Because no intersection of refracted rays. No intersection of what? Of refracted rays here or their extensions like in this point. يبقى no intersection of refracted rays or their what? Extensions. Okay. So dear students, as you see we have to compare here between the convex lenses and the concave. Number one, as you see, convex lens converges the light. تمام. The incident rays are أو after refraction they're what? They collect. But concave lens, it diverges, which means separate the incident ray after their refraction. Number one. Number two, we have the convex lenses, it usually form what? Real image, except one case اللي هي قلناها ميس رشا قالتها معانا اللي هي the object at distance less than focal length. But concave lens, it always forms virtual image because most cases the image is erect and virtual. Number 3, it is its focus is real طبعا as we studied before at the beginning of this episode قلناها في أول حلقة, but the concave lens, its focus is virtual, and we know how can we differentiate between virtual and real focus or image. Okay, as you see here we differentiate between virtual and real image. Real image قلنا.
Okay, and I see real image. We said before that the real image, it is the image that received on a screen, while virtual image is the image that cannot be received on the screen. Real image is always inverted image, while the virtual image is upright. This is the comparison number 2. Number 3, the real image is due to the intersection of the refracted ray. The intersection of the refracted ray itself formed real image, while the virtual image is formed due to the intersection of extension of the rays, not the intersection of the refracted ray itself. Okay? You have to know what's the difference between virtual and real image. Again, number 1, it is a real image always. A real image is always upright.
Yes, yes.
Or inverted, Mr. Muhammad?
Inverted, yes. Okay.
The real or the virtual image?
We talk about real image.
Okay.
Yes, continue.
The real image is always inverted,
yes,
while the virtual image is always upright.
Yes.
This received on a screen, not received on a screen. And the last comparison, the real image, it is formed due to the intersection of the refracted ray, while the virtual image is due to the intersection of the extension of the refracted ray.
Okay, so here we can differentiate easily, dear students, between the real image and the virtual image. Okay, so we have only one case. عندنا حالة واحدة بس. The image is in front of the concave lens اللي هي العدسة اللي احنا مثلا we use it to treat the short sightedness اللي هو حالات قصر النظر زي كده مثلا. يبقى عندي هنا هو C equal distances F, P, F and C by using ruler. Then we have to draw the imaginary line الخط الوهمي in this case like that. Okay, object بيقول لي in front of concave lens. واحد يقول لي طب in which place as you like. I prefer to put it between F and C like that. Okay, then we have rule number 1, the light ray will pass through parallel to the principal axis. In this case the light will refract away from the principal axis like that. Why? Because we talk about what? Concave lens, and the concave lens is what? Is diverging, يعني بتشتت, but its extension will pass through the focus like that by ruler. طبعا هنعمله بالايه؟ بالruler as you see كده the refracted ray. And we have rule number 3, the light ray will pass through what? The optical center and doesn't refract. Due to here we have intersection between these two rays in this point. So we have here the image. As in this point we have the what? The image. So the image is what? Miss Rasha can say. Image is what? يلا مليني Miss Rasha.
The image is virtual.
Virtual.
Upright.
Virtual. Upright.
Smaller size.
Upright.
Small in size.
Small in size or diminished.
Or diminished or minimized.
Or minimized. Yes, minimized. Yes.
Okay.
Number 4, how can we describe the image? Be in front of objects. طبعا واحد يقول لي ليه؟ اقول له because this image is what? Is virtual, so we can تمام describe by another object. So here we say in front of the object. Okay. We have another time
no,
or
this is, this
no
is
enough time? Okay.
Okay. This
okay.
Is, and now we come to our end of this session. Hope to see our student next session to complete the same lenses. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Rasha.
I enjoyed being with you, myself, Mrs. Rasha Abdullah. Thank you.